All praises, all praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, the earth, and all there is. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. Hello, family. We are back together. We are back together again, convening and converging, congregating and convocating. And we are continuing our review as parents, as humble servants of the Most High Creator, as concerned citizens, as the lights of truth and righteousness amongst our community. And so, family, this is a continuing extension of an article that was posed within the channel just a few days ago in regards to the satanic, sodomite, pedophile SCOUTMasters that had been revealed that were in the organization of the Boy Scouts of America. And so now there has been an increasing evaluation of that organization. There is more information to detail. So we are here with our careful consideration amongst the brothers and sisters of the nation, the 12 tribes scattered abroad, as well as the brothers and sisters of the world. So we shall begin with a review of an article in the New York Post entitled Boy Scouts of America Hit with Even More Sex Abuse Lawsuits. And we begin. It's another bad turn for the Boy Scouts of America. The Do a Good Turn Daily group has been hit with more sexual abuse lawsuits, thanks to a state law allowing victims to bring new legal claims and to old abuses. The 9 suits were filed late Monday in both Manhattan Supreme Court and Nassau County Supreme Court by lawyers on behalf of the victims who charge that they were sexually abused as children by Scout leaders in the late 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. All right, family. So the state of New York has opened up a window for these abuse claims and suits to be filed, and there are 9 suits been brought, in addition to the investigative report that had previously outlined 150 potential abusers. The suit brings negligence claims made possible by the Child Victims Act, which took effect last week and opened a 1-year window allowing victims to bring civil claims regardless of when the alleged abuse occurred. Defendants have known for decades that sexual predators had infiltrated scouting, desiring positions around children. Due in part to their sexual interest in children, the suits allege. So now, family, the suit is putting a face and a characterization and a spirit on the intent of these defendants, which they are called sexual predators, who infiltrated the noble art of scouting to get to these positions around the innocent children. And it was due in part to their deviant proclivities of sexual adventures with minors. Oh, we continue. Defendants knew or should have known of the danger that pedophiles presented to children participating in scouting before plaintiffs were abused. The suit claims that the existence of the Boy Scouts' internal perversion files listing some 7,800 problematic scout leaders demonstrate that the Boy Scouts were aware and have been aware that pedophiles are attracted to scouting. The distinctive characteristics of scouting render scouts particularly susceptible to pedophiles who are given authority and the actual and apparent authority of persons who serve in Scoutmasters roles are used by pedophiles to sexually abuse young scouts in and out of scouting. Oh my, that is a heavy, heavy, heavy charge. In announcing the suits Tuesday, victim lawyer Jeff Anderson said, in every single instance, this is a trusted authority figure, a scout leader, charged with developing the youth and under the guise of safety and in a position of authority, repeatedly and in every instance raped a child under his charge and caused that child to suffer in secrecy and in silence and in shame for decades. Wow, family. So in the streets, we call that being turned out. So from the wickedness of the pedophile priests of the Catholic Church to the organized body of the Boy Scouts of America, there is a spirit of pedophile perversion turning out little boys. And as a result, from these years of the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, we are now witnessing the fruits of that wickedness as we see our effeminized young boys, the increasing spirit of sodomy in our young men. We are getting the explanation to the root of that evil. We continue. In each of these instances, the Boy Scouts of America kept that rape, kept that molestation, and kept the identity of the offender secret until forced to be disclosed by legal actions, Anderson said. Many of the accusers were not named in the suit, but one identified only as 61-year-old David from Minnesota appeared at a press conference Tuesday shortly after Anderson confronted David's alleged sex abuser via phone. Just an hour ago, Jeff called my rapist, and I listened to the conversation on the speakerphone. And I listened to a cold-hearted rapist deny every accusation, deny what's in the official record. No remorse whatsoever, said David, who wore a hat and sunglasses to shield his identity. When I heard him deny it, it was the last assault I was willing to tolerate. And that's what brought me here today, said David, as he called for the Boy Scouts of America to make all the perversion files public and out these rapists and build a better future for our children. David claims in his lawsuit, which was filed anonymously, that he was sexually abused by a scout leader identified as Patrick A. Mancuso from 1970 to 1972 while he was a member of Troop Number 744 in the Bronx. Mancuso, who was removed by the Boy Scouts in 77, had previously been named among the perversion files published by the Los Angeles Times. If it wasn't for this file and me seeing it, David said, it gave me the strength to come forward. He pleaded for any other potential victims of his troop to come forward. Mancuso did not immediately return a request for comment by the Post. One of the two plaintiffs identified in the suits, Harry Finger of New York, claims that in 1962, while a member of Boy Scout Troop Number 42 at St. Nicholas of Tolentine in the Bronx, where he was attending school, when a troop leader engaged in unpermitted sexual contact with him, according to court documents. Another suit brought by William Moran of New York charges that from roughly 1968 to 1972, when he was about 11 to 14 years old, he was sexually abused by a scout leader at Troop Number 258 at House of Hope Presbyterian Church in Nassau County. the court documents indicate. The church is named as a defendant in that suit. It is time for the truth to be known. It is time for the Boy Scouts of America to be protected, Anderson said. The Boy Scouts of America has been embroiled in an ongoing, decades-long sex abuse scandal. The organization did not immediately respond for requests for comment. All right, family. All right, brothers and sisters. All right, my concerned mothers and fathers. We are being witness to that which is done in darkness is being brought to light. We are now able to see the extent of the actions of those that are in authority over our children, our little ones, our innocents, our babies. This is a charge to us as the grown folk, the adults, the loving parents, to be ever more vigilant, ever more investigative as to the company and the people who are engaging our offspring on a daily basis. Teachers, administrators, doctors, bus drivers, the mailman, anybody. And we are to teach our children to trust in us as the parents, to give us their trust that we will listen to them if they speak to us. It is a horrible thing to try to manage a traumatic event pressed upon a little one. It is something that we should not even ponder or have to endure, even though we are faced with the immensity of this reality. We have to screen and vet and question with no regard to outside emotion. We are protectors of our fruit. We are the guardians of our children. We are widening the conscious scope of our contemplation. We are in our spiritual review of these carnal consequences and circumstances, which is our reality. And as we continue to review the Holy Word and increase and extend and elevate our understanding in the truth and righteousness, as we give those lessons to our children, we are giving them that gift of discernment of the spirits of these satanic actors, these pedophiles, those who seek to do harm to the souls of our babies for their own deviant pleasures. Family, we shall continue our investigation of this information for our soul evaluation and salvation. We will continue to love one another in truth, in harmony, and peace as we continue to persevere and endure within this captivity on this continent of confusion. And Lord willing, we shall return to convene in our coordinated, consensual assembly of care, concern, and compassion. And until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit.